Somebody look at your neighbor and say, she finna bring it tonight. I say somebody look at your neighbor and say, she finna bring it tonight. And if you ain't got a neighbor, look at yourself and say, she finna bring it to fuck a night. Oh, we gonna jump right into it, because that's how we do it over here. Dr. Dre was born in Compton, California on February 18th, 1965. Dr. Dre was interested in music ever since he was a young child. And he got that music ability from his mama and his daddy. You know, let me tell y'all something about myself. When I was a young child, my mama said, she said, when you was young, you used to grab these pots and pans out of the cabinets. You just grab them out of there, and I just used to put them back in. I'm like, you can't take that out. And she said she used to just put them back in a cabinet. She said, so one day, I let you pull them out because I was curious to see what you was going to do. She said, and when you took them pots and pans out of the cabinet, she said, you just start beating on it and singing on it. Okay, you just start beating on them pots and pans and you just start singing. Okay, so now today, I know how to play the drums. Most people don't know that. So, you know, you can recognize, catch that, your child's ability when they're young. You can tell if they gonna play the drums. You can tell if they gonna sing. You know, you can tell if they gonna rap. You can tell if they're gonna be fashion designers and so forth. So when Dr. Dre was a young child, his music ability was recognized by his parents. Dr. Dre's mama was part of a group called the Four Aces. But she ended up getting, pregnant with Dr. Dre. So she quit the group before he was born. And Dr. Dre's daddy was part of a band called the Romels. Okay? The Romels. That's where Dr. Dre got his middle name from. Romel. He was named after his daddy's band. So, as him growing up around all that music, he had to learn something about it. Grow around parents who are into music, you gonna learn something about it. Dr. Dre's mama and daddy end up splitting up when he was 7 years of age. And Dr. Dre, his mama end up remarrying. But one thing about her remarrying, she remarried 7 times. She said, shit, look at that. I ain't gonna stop till I get it right. So his mama got married 7 times. And most people don't know that Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre and Warren G, they are actually stepbrothers. Dr. Dre mama was married to Warren G's daddy. So that's how they became stepbrothers. And they lived as a blended family. Just wanted to put that out there. When Dr. Dre was a teenager, he still had that love for music. So in 1984, on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day, Dr. Dre was given a music mixer as a gift. Y'all know what a music mixer is. You know, when you mix music, like a turntable. Okay? So not too long after Dr. Dre got that music mixer for Christmas, they said he started moving around shitter in the house. And he turned the family's house into a studio. He said, fuck that, I got this mixer. I'm doing good with it. And I want to work my motherfucking craft. Or I start moving around in chairs. He said, we're going to make this house into a studio. And that's what he did. They said Dr. Dre spent hours upon hours in that studio. They said Dr. Dre would have different people come in. Listen to the type of stuff that he made. And then he'd let them rap behind certain things that he made. So that shows you that Dr. Dre was musically inclined. That shows you that he put in work. He was dedicated. Dr. Dre was dedicated. Dr. Dre, he started to become confident in his ability to mix music. He said, I'm confident in my ability to mix this music, and I'm confident in my ability to turn these motherfucking tables on this music. So he started hanging out at this club. Some of y'all heard of this club. Eve After Dark. That's the name of the club. Eve After Dark. And this was the type of place where they would spin records together, and they would have live performances. And the people would be on the dance floor shaking that ass up. It wasn't like today, when you play the CDs in the club and everybody be backing it up. They was doing the shit straight turntables. Everything was done live back then. Almost everything. So Dr. Dre, he eventually got his chance to spin records in this club, Eve After Dark. And everybody, they loved that shitter. They said, shit, that motherfucker, Dr. Dre he working his shit out. We feeling him. It was a group called the World Class Wreckin Cru. They used to perform in this club. So, Dr. Dre, he ended up doing music for them. After Dr. Dre hooked up with the World Class Wreckin Cru, he developed, okay? Like I told you before, they always have a name that they were born with. And then as they get into the music, they change their name. So after he got around the World Wreckin Cru, he developed the name Dr. Dre. And his title became known as the master of mixology. Somebody say, well, why is he the master of mixology? Because Dr. Dre can mix the fuck out of a song. And back then, he was like kind of not the only one, but he was kind of the hottest one at that time that was doing that, mixing these songs together, okay, and coming up with some good-ass beats. Dr. Dre ended up teaming up with a fellow rapper, Eazy-E. I said he teamed up with some fellow rappers, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Yellow, Marin, the Arabian Prince, and DOC. And that's when the group N.W.A, Niggas with Attitudes, y'all remember them? That's when Niggas with Attitudes was created. When Dr. Dre teamed up with N.W.A, he started mixing, music for them. And then as he began to mix music for them, his craft elevated to another level. Okay, his style of music went to another level. He started producing a rough, a rugged, a hard-hitting type of sound. In N.W.A, they complimented his beats, because they had those catchy rhymes. And they was very rugged themselves. They had catchy messages. So they put that shit together and they had a masterpiece. Y'all remember those songs? Y'all remember N.W.A, they did a song, Fucker the Police. And that song caused a battle in the motherfucking streets. Okay? It caused a battle in the streets. Because everybody and their grandma was mad at the police. Shit, the police walked past, how you doing today? Shit, the niggas was like, kiss my ass, motherfucker, and kept it moving. We started looking at the police a little bit different. We ain't never liked the police, but that just made us hate the police even more when we heard that song, Fucker the Police. Come on, let's go deeper down this rabbit hole tonight. Dr. Dre said, fuck that. He said, it's time for me to get my own record label. He said, it's time for me to make that big money that I know I can make. Okay, I've been making some decent money and it's good, but I believe that I can do better. So he did exactly what he said. He came out with that Chronic album, okay? Got his own record label and shit and came out with that Chronic album. The album made it to the top of the motherfucking charts. Made it to the top of the charts. And the biggest single from that Chronic album. Y'all know the song. It ain't nothing but a G-Thing, baby. Yeah, it ain't nothing but a G-Thing, baby, featuring Snoop Doggy Zogg. So they ain't call Dr. Dre the doctor for nothing. When Dr. Dre make a beat, he can make the worst rapper make a hit song. Catch that on fleek. So we got to give it to him. That motherfucker was definitely a pro at his craft. But just like everybody else. I said, but just like everybody else who want that $1 million, you got to do something to get it. I said, just like everybody else who want that $1 million and more, Dr. Dre, he had to give up some bodies. Can you get me bodied? Oh my, that's the question right there. I said he had to give up some bodies. Now I want to say this. Everybody in the industry has not given a blood sacrifice. So I want to come out here and say that just everybody done gave up a blood sacrifice, because it's not true. Okay? I've never told you that, because everybody ain't on the same level in their careers. But you better believe when it gets to that point, they gonna have to give up a body. That's all I'm saying. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But when you want to start rolling with the big dogs, you're going to have to make a sacrifice. Point blank and period. Some folks may ask. They say, so Maddie. I say, they say, so Maddie. Who did Dr. Dre sacrifice? Well, I want you to use your minds with me today. Early in his career, some folks didn't see the sacrifice that Dr. Dre made, or the sacrifice that he was part of. Before Eazy-E died, Dr. Dre and Eazy-E, they got into a heated argument. They got into a fire-ass argument. Okay, it ain't one of them arguments where you argue and then you just shake each other's hand. Okay, it's cool. These motherfuckers got into a heated-ass argument. And I'm coming to tell you that yes, Dr. Dre was part of that Eazy-E blood sacrifice. That's how he was able to come up early in his career. And Dr. Dre also made another sacrifice that made him rise even higher to the point where he is now. He sacrificed his third born child. Y'all know how I am about the number. Okay, y'all know how I am about these numbers. He sacrificed his third born child, Andre Young Jr. That's his son's name. His son died from an overdose, of heroin and morphine. Or that's what he was injected with. Catch that on fleek. Somebody say, you digging, so-so. Well, let's dig in this motherfucker. I said, well, let's dig. What album did Dr. Dre say he was going to release for years? For years, he was talking about he was going to release this album. Can you tell me the name of that album? That's right. The Detox album. Come on, let's work this shit out. What does the word detox mean? Detox mean a process of, or a period of time in which someone abstains from or rids the body of toxic or unhealthy substances. Detoxification. That's what it means. Okay? That's what it means. Dr. Dre knew he had to do something. What did he have to do? He had to make that blood sacrifice. So let's put the puzzle together. The Detox album and the talk, him talking all about that Detox album, it was related to his son's blood sacrifice. They say that his son died what? Of an overdose. Okay? Put it together. He already know what had to happen. That shit was set up and the shit was planned. So as I tell you all the time, if you want to come up, you got to give up. Look at your neighbor or look at yourself and say, if I get into that industry and I want to make that big money, I got to give up to come up. Why? Because that's how it go. So sometimes you just got to make your money underground. You got to be very intelligent and make your shit underground. Set up these engagements for yourself because it can be done. It can be done. But just remember, when you're going through the industry way, it's always a setup waiting for you. You just never know when that setup is going to come. That's why you got to be aware. I thank the ancestors and I thank my own God and my own spirit for making me what? Aware. Y'all be good.